From the heart of Nairobi to the rest of the continent, welcome to the first All Africa Business Leaders Award, East Africa.
Hello and a very warm welcome to the first and inaugural All Africa Business Leaders Awards. I'm Ken Karori. Tonight we are celebrating businessmen and women who have made a mark in the East African economy, cementing their position within the region. But before we get to the proceedings, let's catch up with some of the individuals who are involved in this task.
The ABN Group finished 5 years this year, and we've been reporting on African stories and the development of African corporates. We believe that the time is right for us. We have the knowledge, we have the research capability, we understand what's happening on the continent, and felt from a timing point of view, it's good to adapt the global franchise that CNBC has on the Business Leaders Awards. And I thought it was great to launch that last year. We did the All Africa Business Leaders Awards in Southern Africa. The participation was not from across the continent, and I felt that we had to break it up into the regional components. So we did the West African part in Lagos recently. We've just done the East African one today, which has been a resounding success. The Southern African one will happen in Cape Town on the 13th of September, and the final, which is the grand finale, will take place in Johannesburg on the 25th of October. I think it's about celebrating the success of African leaders and showing what leadership has done, particularly in the difficult periods that we've gone through over the last 3 to 4 years. And we want to showcase these success stories to the rest of the world.
I think the nomination was excellent. I think the business leaders we got were excellent. I think the key things we looked for were character of leadership, environmental effectiveness, innovation in business, how they're dealing with their business from a management perspective, innovation, financial systems, how have they grown their financial systems, their PR systems, their operations, how have they innovated their product and services. I feel that we got the best people who had done the best work in their businesses.
Well, I must congratulate all the organizers of these great prestigious awards. This is All Africa Business Leaders Awards, and this is the first time that we are doing such an event in Kenya, but also in East Africa. It is very important that we understand that business has moved from just being the selling and making of money to developing people and developing lasting businesses and being part of a brand. It's very crucial that the people who take this leadership prepare other people and give a legacy. And that's what we celebrate. We celebrate people in Africa who give that positive image to Africa, the positive image to Kenya, to East Africa. I think that's the most important thing.
Now the cream of East Africa's business community has converged here in Nairobi, Kenya to acknowledge the success of their peers. Let's see what the proceedings is all about.
See, that wasn't too bad. That was actually excellent. Thank you so much. Information Minister Samuel Pugisio, Information Permanent Secretary Dr. Bitangen Demo, and our distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good to see everybody here at the All Africa Business Leaders Awards, or AABLA as they've become to be known. AABLA East Africa this is the first time we're holding this. The events began last year, the overall All Africa Business Leaders Awards. It was held in Johannesburg, and the winner for the AABLA Young Business Leader of the Year was Kenya's own James Moria, who's in the building. Where is he? Please give him a hand. See you. There he is to my right. Isn't that amazing that for the inaugural awards all over Africa, he was named the Young Business Leader of the Year. It's great to have him back with us this year, and he'll be presenting an award later on. But this year, we're doing these events regionally across Africa. Just a fortnight ago, we held this event in West Africa. It was amazing, and the first airing was on CNBC Africa on Channel 410 DSTV. But it's just great that finally we're honored that all of you could join us when we're doing this in East Africa for the first time. So for that, please give everybody a big round of applause. But for now, I'd like to introduce a pioneer and founder of the All Africa Business Leaders Awards. He's also the co-founder and vice chairman of the ABN Group, and one of the people behind this company. To let you know what exactly the ABN Group does, what we're up to, and what plans there are for this continent. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Rakesh Wahi.
Thanks, Larry. Thank you very much. On behalf of the ABN Group, it gives me great pleasure today to welcome you all to the first All Africa Business Leaders Awards, East Africa. This is the first one that we are doing here in East Africa. We launched the awards last year in South Africa, which is part of our global franchise, which we run out of the US, Europe, as well as in the franchise countries in India, in Turkey, in Southeast Asia. And I thought that the company has been in existence here for 5 years. We have the credibility and the experience now, after having reported on African news for the last 5 years, to launch these awards in Africa and honor African leadership. We hear a lot about gloom and doom in Africa, and we were just talking about it with the minister. The stories in 2008 during the elections, people were just reporting about everything that was wrong that was happening in Kenya. At CNBC, we took it on ourselves and reported on the positive things that were happening. People were still going to work. Business didn't come to a standstill. And to take Larry's point forward, there's a misconception on what's going on the continent. And we believe that the time is right to honor this African leadership, to honor the leaders here in this room, and start talking about the positive things that we're doing on the continent. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all today. Hope you have a lovely evening, and thank you very much for your patience.
Let's move away from the formalities and do what we're really here to do tonight, which is honor East Africa's business stars. And I'm going to go straight ahead to a first category. That is the East Africa Young Business Leader Award. This one recognizes professionals under the age of 40 who have achieved a significant level of success in their careers and who are also making a difference in the community through their work.
First of all, this individual is very clear who they are.
Also look at the things that makes the individual outstanding, things like having exceptional vision and leadership capabilities, and their participation in their own industry and the contribution to the industry that their business has made and the individual has made.
The East Africa Young Business Leader of the Year finalists are Dr. Gachao Kiuna, Transcentury; Mr. Jack Kayonga, Rwanda Development Bank; Mr. Gerald Wamalwa, Melek Engineering;
and the winner is Mr. Jack Kayonga.
No, I wasn't expecting the award. I was actually pleasantly surprised. We can, as the youth or the young leaders, to be able to impact significantly on the businesses that we run, but it's also important that the youth and the young leaders do not misuse opportunities that they are given in impacting on leadership of whoever they lead and on the different mandate that they're expected to deliver on.
Our next category celebrates a woman who exemplifies strong leadership and outstanding leadership, I should say, in business, and who has made a significant difference in the industry.
We don't take women as a special category, so they have to go through the same analysis as the men. we specifically call them businesswoman because the circumstances of a woman around being a business leader are distinct from that of a man. The woman in our African context tends to be one who takes the entire burden of the children, who normally takes quite a significant burden of the faithfulness to the marital union, who has to overcome the tendency towards chauvinism, male chauvinism in the business. Up to now we have so few people, few women in boards.
Ms. Jennifer Barasa, top image. Ms. Gina Din Karaoke, Gina Din Communications.
And the winner in the category of Businesswoman of the Year is Ms. Jennifer Barasa, top image.
It means quite a lot, especially for the women, because I'm a stickler for women. I'm in so many women groups, and I encourage women to get into business, and I try to be a model, a role model. It means a lot, not only to me, but to my employees, because actually it's the employees who work behind the scenes to make sure that we are successful. So this award, I want to dedicate it first to God, to my business partners, to my staff, and to my family, and especially my daughter has been very instrumental to encourage me to go shoulder on.
We're now going on a short commercial break. More from the inaugural All Africa Business Leaders Awards East Africa when we come back.